it ignited from the friction of the bit.
Your piece of wood caught fire on the CNC machine. I'm using a wood that previously caught fire.
So the key to guitar building is in the fretboard, in my opinion, because fretboards are hard. So that's what I'm starting with. I'm going to start with the hard part. We're going to whip out 5 or 6, then we'll have a couple spare. If you're just joining us, this is a guitar build-off between Mike and I. Aggressive timeline. We need to have these done and completed for our guitar festival. All in all, I think we have maybe like 2 weeks of build time where we can really just like buckle down and get some building done. Super simple, rough CNC carving. Nothing really that fancy. We just want to get the rough shapes kind of set, and then we can dive into finishing things more or less by hand, because honestly it's faster. And we're not very good with the CNC overall, let's be honest. So for necks and fretboards, we're doing like a little bit of the fretboard work with the CNC, like we're drawing some lines on it, but then we're gonna finish those lines with a handsaw. And then on the neck, we're kind of doing the outline of the neck, but all the shaping and everything like that is done by hand or with a router duplicator, and then finished by hand. I had this random piece of bird's eye maple stashed away for like decades. But then when I went to go use it, it turned out it was rotten, which was really disappointing. So I think I'll just work on a body blank instead. I really want to use this piece of wood for my guitar body, but my guitar design is basically 16 3/4 inches long. I can't really use it the way it is. It's just like a tiny bit too small, but it's extra wide. I'm gonna cut some off the wing and then glue it onto the end, and hopefully that doesn't make it look like garbage. This caught fire. I'm not sure if this is normal. Like, it wasn't like a spark or anything like that. It was just pure friction. The wood that I used and I like is cottonwood. Cottonwood is well known for being your like easy to light firewood when you're out in the bush and you're trying to survive the night. Basically rub pieces of cottonwood together and it lights on fire. And multiple points during my carve, it ignited from the friction of the bit. So yeah, just a note, if you're ever carving a wood called cottonwood, which is a subspecies of poplar, maybe keep an eye on it and don't leave, because it might be on fire when you come back. So yeah, that was interesting.
Your piece of wood caught fire on the CNC machine. I'm using a wood that previously caught fire. Somehow I managed to get all the way through designing my project before I realized that it wasn't actually like 16.5 inches. It was actually like 17 1/4. So now I have to use this piece of wood, which is the only piece of wood that I have that's 18 inches long. Good times.
It's either that or you change your design, I
It's
guess.
like the most accurate tool within like all part of the body. Great job. We have vacuum. Oh, look how close I managed to freehand that.
looks like Shrek ears. I'm gonna leave the bug holes in. It's artistic. So I got some water-based dyes for this project, and I just wanted to show off what you can do with water-based dyes. Take a look at this top. This is the piece of birch from our wood selection video, if you've seen that. Quite a vintage look. And then this here is the piece of figured aspen, also referenced from the wood selection video. That's the back of my guitar. I think I showed it before. It was pure white, and then after a little bit of staining, the figure has really popped on it. So it's kind of greeny right now, and hopefully that goes away over time. I don't really want it to be green. I need sunglasses just in case the glare is too great.
Those rub-on finishes, hey? Wear eye protection. That wasn't supposed to happen. I wanted to have this really cool look where you don't have any pickup ring on the front. So your pickups just come straight through. And it's super clean, you have nothing else on the top. But pickups are not designed that way. Pickups are designed to have these adjuster screws that come through the top to raise and lower them. And so I have to make up a custom setup. So I've got this beautiful birch plate here, and my screws are going to come off of the back of the plate and go into the pickups like this. So my back cover is my access to my electronics. I invented this. Somebody else has probably done this before. And then the idea is your pickup will come through, and you can still adjust it from the back here.
By turning your adjusters.
By turning my adjusters.
Yeah. Very interesting. Well, it's Sunday in our small town, and you can't buy anything on Sundays. There's nothing open. But I did find this paintbrush. It's just quite crusty. Very dry.
It's two different philosophies here, I think. Despite the fact that we're both going with like similar sort of layouts, it's sort of like I'm doing this like very shocking light color, letting the sound of the guitar hopefully and the wood itself speak out, and then David's going for the super like rustic, like totally figured woods, totally torrified tops.
All the things.
It's yeah, he's like, it's kind of like Mojo.
Yeah,
and like and working subtlety. Man's instruments.
Subtlety. You got a lot more subtlety. How many coats did you manage to get on?
This has got 5 coats on it.
It's the inaugural test run here. Mike has been pretty excited to get this thing plugged in. Join us in the next video when we take our guitars to the loft, which is our audio testing center, and we give all these guitars a full test and give our first impressions on them. And you can give yours in that video as well. So join us in the next one. It's going to be fun.